It's almost 4 o'clock in the morning. Gotta get up at 7. Late night ramble. The joys of working with the Christian fundamentalist. Couldn't sleep. Because I woke up about 3 and had to pee, and it just was kind of just thoughts kept rolling through my head. I work with, there's 2 guys that are bosses, of this company, and today, just to, save with transportation and paying for parking downtown and stuff. The 2 bosses and I rode together, and being the nice guy that I am, I sat in the back even of this pickup truck, Toyota pickup truck, even though, the driver was, no, you can sit in front, but his brother is like, oh, I can't get in there, cramped spaces I have problems with. Nice guys, so I was like, whatever. I jump in the back. But on the way back from the job site, when we're getting settled into the vehicle, I'm in the back, and all of a sudden he just brings his seat as far back as he can, quickly, and then he turns back and looks at me and smiles, and I'm thinking, earlier today you were trying to witness to me and talk about your visions and stuff, and I'm like, here you have a personal relationship with a God that makes you a good, kind, generous, just an all-around good, better person. Yet, as a full-grown, middle-aged adult, you're being so, at the very least, so childish, and derive such pleasure from causing discomfort, at least to another human being. That's one of the things that makes me enjoy working with non-believers so much, because they don't act that way. When you're a Christian, because you can just turn around and say, sorry, Sky Daddy, and you're forgiven for whatever you do. It makes it so it's just so easy to not be a considerate, kind person. And you don't even recognize it in yourself. didn't even recognize that he was showing disrespect to his brother and his brother's pickup truck, by stretching out the fabric of the back of the seat, because my knees were getting crammed in to the space. And I did move my knee from being smashed against the frame of the seat into the more soft part of the back of the seat. And then, he complains about, his back being, poked by my knee. And yet he just doesn't see that he's intentionally causing someone discomfort, someone pain. And he doesn't understand why his reaching out to witness to me doesn't have an effect. There's a reason that, atheists they make up about 20% of the population. Yet in prisons, atheists only make up about 5% of the prison population here in America. Theists, they can do what they want. They can they can do what they want, and then, sorry, Sky Daddy. No accountability to their fellow human being. They're always expecting everybody to forgive them for whatever they do. Yeah. I just think it's funny that they can't even see it. And with his visions, I brought up the whole idea of the sleep paralysis, that he checked into that, and how people that have had visions or claim to have been abducted by aliens or seen Bigfoot. Many of the people have, they fall under categories where, they are under a high level of stress and a lot of times lack of sleep and things like that put them into a state where they have these visions that are so vivid that, it's not like a dream or whatever, but it's a real experience. And of course he easily dismissed it, but it's what I love about the atheist population is we don't have to deal with people acting like that, because I'm not saying 100%, but I'll tell you the percentage has greatly decreased ever since I walked away from faith. And they just don't see it. I care about his, hey, he's a boss, whatever, too, besides, I don't think he'd, say he won't work with me, but I just have empathy towards his feelings, so I don't want to bring it up and, when there's anyone else around, so that's kind of a difficult situation. finding a time when it's just him and I can work it into the conversation, and he's, he's 2 kids, have these social interaction issues that they're living with, problems, and you have a personal relationship with the creator of the universe, and yet he doesn't fix that for you. If I could do that with no expense to me, just by willing it, I'd consider myself a real dick if I didn't. It's like this weekend. There's this senior at a high-rise I used to work at. He's a newer senior living there, so it's not like I've got any personal relationship with him at all, and I haven't eaten dinner with him or, hung out with him, or, I've just met him a couple times, and yet, because he's got brake line problems, this Saturday I'm planning on spending the day working on replacing his brake lines. And that with a car as old as his and stuff, that most likely it's also going to be the brake cylinders, because the bleeder screw will not be able to be moved. So, and it's not like he's got money to pay me well for my time. He'll be paying for the parts. And, I know he doesn't have spare money to spare. And he'll feel guilty for me working on his car probably a good part of the daytime. But it's only going to be like the high of 21 Fahrenheit tomorrow. I mean, not tomorrow, but on Saturday. Tomorrow's Friday. Today, since it's 4 in the morning, it's Thursday, but so most likely I'm not even, if I've got to replace the brake cylinders, I probably won't even show him those receipts, just the brake lines, because he's going to feel that, he wants, even though he's got limited funds, he wants to pay me for my time. But I'm just doing it because it's somebody in need. And it'll cost me about a day, but it's like big deal. And that's what I like about the atheist community. Not dealing with the people that can act one way and claim the other. Of course, they do charitable-like things, but they are always looking for an excuse not to do something for somebody. Oh, welfare cheats, or whatever. And they must be bad for God to allow someone else to do this to them, or for them not to prosper, or whatever. No. All it takes is somebody like you to think that God would make sure everything's, fair and balanced in this world. When people do treat people differently. Well, I suppose since I've got this on video, if I've left anything out, I can always take it to the end before I upload it. But that way now I can just relax and go back to sleep for a couple more hours. So, well, hope you're sleeping well. I normally sleep well, and no problem with that, but this sort of stuff was just rolling through my head, mainly because I'm concerned about talking to them about it when other people are around, and not wanting to leave anything out. But yeah, maybe this will be a recurring segment. Late night rants. We'll see how much it happens when I'm working with them. Alright, move on to the next video or whatever. Alright, have fun.